Wednesday, right? Wednesday! Oh, shit. It's Wednesday. That means I gotta figure out. I gotta figure out Sunday video. Potentially. And yeah, I got Sunday video. And I gotta record, I got what, today, tomorrow to just record the devlog. Okay, I gotta do that tonight. I'm gonna try to record the devlog tonight. Get it ready for the first, for Friday. Not enough time. Not enough time during the day. Also, I found out I have a 3-day weekend. I actually found out yesterday, technically. But I got a 3-day weekend, which I am excited for. Because I get to miss Monday. I get to... you know. So that's pretty good. Other than that, it's gonna be another hot ass day. God damn, it's already over 77 degrees here in my room. AC has been blowing all day, so I'm gonna be miserable all day. It's supposed to be like 4 degrees colder tomorrow, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. And after tomorrow, at least we'll get into the 70s. Well, I guess tomorrow we'll technically get in the 70s as well. After next week, it'll drop like another 5 degrees. I'm looking forward to it. Come on, we're hitting August. It's supposed to go downhill with August. I'm hoping. But anyway, today the plans are simple. It's just the results are, to get the good results are not simple. We're going to be testing shadows. Right, we talked about shadows for the boss, the one we're working on right now, and getting those in, hopefully the custom ones from Blender as part of the sprites. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be playing around with the scale of things and figuring that out. I also, doing a little on Blender, like a show, I also had to freaking get ChatGPT basically to give me a code for something that was just a setting before in previous versions of Blender. Which, I don't understand why. So, a couple of things. First of all, if we go here, right, we now have shadow. Right, we have shadow. If we hit render, we get shadow. Right? So that's good. That's working. It's not the most accurate shadow, but you know, as long as it's consistent. So that's the shadow. Odd thing is, even though it's straight down, from this angle, it looks like it's facing forward. And I'm tempted, you know what? Maybe I should angle it kind of back. Maybe I should just angle it this way. I haven't actually rendered any of this yet. And maybe that, actually. Get a little bit of a shadow underneath from the camera perspective. Most of it being behind. Yeah, that's actually better. Maybe... I didn't want to... Like, top-down technically is better. But I'm just thinking, if I do 25... Oh, no. We don't want to do it. Never mind. We don't want this. This is bad. Go back to where it was. Yeah, we still need yeah, we need top down. Make the edges more round if I can't. I don't have control over this. It's pixelated. We'll see how it looks actually once we render it. So a couple of things I did though is if I do this. So this is the crop in, right? And one thing I realized is you cannot control this manually. All right, if I go back to layouts, like the camera, so I can do this, right? Which is great. I can do this. I can do like an edge or a corner. I cannot do it uniformly from both corners at the same time. So if I wanted like a perfect square in the middle of the screen, I cannot do that in the new versions of Blender. So what I had to do is have a new script that I can put like a boundary here on that will then allow me to kind of crop in. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah. Also, I want to go real quick. We got to figure out the size of everything. So if we look at him right now, he's right now, I scaled him to 3x. So he's quite big. He was at 2. But we got to play around with the size. So what I might do is change the output from 256 to 512. So it'll be very big. Keep him as 2x though. And then here we can change this cut in to be like 6. Right? Problem is I don't know why I can't preview. Oh, I can. There we go. Never mind. That wasn't there, and I thought I couldn't preview it that way. So let's do 0.6. So I just want to make sure I get the actual thing in here. So from here, let's just quickly rotate it to make sure it all fits. Yep. Because basically, I'm going to. We probably crop it in even more, actually. But now this is what I have to do. Instead of I have to do it through a script. 55. But we're gonna see what works well or not well. So we're gonna try with this as our base, and then go from there. What we can actually do is, honestly, I can probably just save this one frame and take a look at it, right? Yeah, I can. Oh, yeah, totally. Copy, save. Hey Terry, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Are you making an icon or another 2D NPC? I'm making a boss. But we're playing around with perspective now. see if perspective can help. This might be a little bit too big. Yeah, he's a bit big. By a bit big, I mean very. So let's go ahead and tweak that. The shadow, yeah, the shadow's weird, isn't it? The shadow's still weird. Do you want the shadow to be a sprite? Well, here's the problem. If it's not a part of the sprite, I was hoping that the shadow would make him feel like he's stuck on the ground more than the actual shadow. Because the problem we're having is this. If I turn on shadows back on. If you look at him, right, you could tell he's floating. Ignore the fact he's lower res right now. But you could tell he's floating because of the shadow. So I was thinking maybe if I bake the shadow into the sprite, it could work better. The problem is the angle of the shadow is not really working in our favor. So yeah. Speak of ourselves in the 10th person. Yeah, what is the 10th person? So that's our problem. It's like, it doesn't look terrible, right? It doesn't look terrible, but I wanted to see what happens if we bake the shadow in. And honestly, I'm conflicted on it. So I want to change a few things, starting with this him being too big of a resolution. So let's do. I don't know, sometimes like it lets me drag, sometimes it doesn't. Let's do like 300. He's 2x right now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's 2x. It's fine. Guys, look at the actual level. We haven't gone there. We haven't gone that far. We're still testing the very beginnings of this. So I want to see first this. Let's get the size and everything correct. And then we can go from there. Right. Let's see if we can get the size correct. So around there, maybe. He's a little too low res, though. Is he too low? Oh, I think it's because it's not alien. It's smoothing. Oh no, it's set to like no mip maps and everything. Why does it look so blurry? Oh, I think it's so blurry because no, he's just blurry. Why is he blurry? That pixelated shadows is just really rough, though. Yeah. For sure. I agree. Did you get a name? Yeah, Morthar the Rhythm Killer. That's the name we went with. Okay, hold on. If I do... Why is it blurry? What if I just delete this? Bring this back in. There we go. Right. Right. And if it's okay, you know what's funny? We ran into this issue at work. You see how he's flickering? I say we ran into this issue at work like I was using sprites, but I mean, technically speaking, I was using sprites. See how when it moves across it, it gives like shivering? I don't know why that is. So what we're finding out here really is that as cool as the shadow is, I cannot have the shadow as part of him, because that would require this to be transparent. And I cannot have it be transparent. He has to be masked, basically. Otherwise, we have that issue. How is he for size, though, in this version? Like, does that seem like a good size for the boss? Or do we want him bigger? Yeah, the fake shadow, yeah, has multiple issues. That's what I wanted to test, though. How's he for boss size, though? Actually, for reference, I should bring out another boss. Let's get Steel Claw. So if we ignore the shadow, I think size-wise he's okay. No, you can't do decal, it's a sprite. There's no easy step placements or anything. So I think size-wise he's okay. What about resolution? I guess resolution, this is kind of fine. Or do we want him more or less detail, more or less resolution? I definitely don't want to do like super high res, like because that kind of defeats the purpose. So maybe we go with this and we go from there. So let's say we're okay with this, and then we go from there. Razors, yeah. So what we need to do then, wrong one. Where's Blender? Then what we need to do is now render him, I guess, without the floor. Right, no floor. I mean, no floor, no shadow. And then we'll try that. And we'll turn the shadows back on. Also, I need to change this to be on the ground. the ground or in the middle of him? I guess as long as it's consistent, I don't think it matters. Is there a way? I guess I can guess visually. Visually, the center is about like here-ish. I just want him to be in the middle of his body. Although it should be in the middle of his legs. It should be at the legs. Maybe it should be at the legs. Let me just see. We need to increase this. Yeah, it probably should be at the middle of his legs. If he rotates, yeah, it should be at the middle of his legs. Well, that probably helps some stuff. Wrong way. Okay. You can see the pattern on the drum just enough to make it out. Yeah, that's what I was looking at as well. You bought an HDMI to DisplayPort cable today, and the box said it was supposed to be, but you got home and it was HDMI to HDMI. Darn packagers. Oof. I'm sorry. HDMI is one of those formats that's gone through so many iterations in what it supports, but the name has never changed. Right? Like, there are number values, like different HDMI types, HDMI 2, 3, etc. But there's also all those decimal points, I believe, as well. And nobody puts them on packaging in terms of what it supports. So if you just search HDMI cable without looking at the specs of what it supports, you're not even gonna know if it's the right HDMI cable. Save this back to well, I guess I'll just save it as more thorough run. Hey Thomas, welcome in. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. So we're going with this, right? Let's give me a look. Oh, looks good. I do like the more camera accurate view. They're supposed to advertise though. A lot of people are supposed to do a lot of things, but if they can get away with not, they're gonna get away with not. Even an older NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti. Three display ports and one DVI. What? Wait, he has 5 displays? Wow. You have 2 of those. They're old. We can output 10 TVs. Jesus Christ. Working on today, boss. We're working on the boss. Working on the boss. Working on the boss. Yeah, I probably don't need the half-res. The half-res was terrible. Let's get rid of you. The half-res stuff can go away. The rest we can keep. I don't need the test anymore. And we clear all of these. Then we click go. And we watch it get populated. All right. 1080 Ti is such a damn great card. I've heard. I've never had it. Oh, guys. Jackpot. We hit the jackpot pretty early in the stream, but we already have the jackpot. 777. I get every other generation typically, and I started in the 900 series. So I went from 980 Ti's to 2080 Ti to 4080. Before that, I had Radeon cards. So, yeah. NVIDIA will never make something that good ever again, it seems. Nope. Because they realize, oh, we can just charge much more. By we, I mean they. So, bang for your buck, like the 1080 is never going to happen again. The drivers are going to stop being supported, I heard on it, unfortunately. We're getting 3080 Ti now. Nice. $1060 6 gigabytes showing its age? I imagine so. I imagine so. It's not even an 80 series card, so yeah. You have all this GPU power? You've always had an i3 or 4-core chip? How come? You started with a 500 something series GeForce card? I mean, technically speaking, like one of my first, I got a laptop with a 9800, which was an NVIDIA card. In terms of the desktops, I pretty much had, I had the dual cards, dual Radeon cards. I think 6990 is what I had. One of them was, or 7990. I think I had the 7990. Oh,
ads
yes.
are here. Pausing for ads.
I found one of my old cards. Hold on. I'll try it after that. It was a beast. For its time, it was a monstrosity. 770 to 1060 to 4070. So you gotta be third generation, Marcio. You've been in tech support and stuff your whole life. You've been fixing other people's stuff so long that you know how it works. So you don't touch it. That's smart. GT type card, whopping 32 megabytes of video RAM or something like that. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, was that a 500 series? Yeah, that's definitely before. Is that before me? I mean, but based on the memory, yes, it's before me. You were in the same PC since 2015, no case. If it works, don't fix it, I guess. CPUs from 2010. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, ads are done. So this was one of my cards back in the day. I might still have it in the closet at my parents' place. I had this monstrosity. This is the Power Color 6990 Radeon card. No, sorry, 79. It was 7990. Yeah, 7990. Not 69. I had the 7990. This is a dual GPU card. So there's 2 GPU processors in there. I had this monstrosity. It had a button in the back, an overclock button. Here's the thing. This GPU was so insane. It came with a screwdriver set. This is a screwdriver set. Which, give me a moment. Which I still own to this day. This came with the actual graphics card. And it came with this, basically. It's just really long 2-sided ones, and you can plug them in. Like, it's not great. It's like wobbly. It's not a good screwdriver, especially after all this time. But it has worked all this time. Now I have a better one that, I can use. But for all that time, this is it's just from this, which is freaking amazing. And also, again, an insane video card. Back in the day. Good old school Radeon was so good. I mean, this is not a Radeon thing. This is Power Color. But still. Hey, Leah, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Good card. 7990. And then I had the 5990 before it. Yeah. I had the 5970, I think. No, 5990. Or was it 5970 at the time? This looks like my other card back in the day. Like, this seems accurate for what I had. Good old ATI Radeon. I remember this weird exhaust thing. Again, I might still have these at my parents' place. I'm not sure. I don't think I have the card. This card, though. Maybe. It's useless. It's a brick. Like, it never broke. I don't think it broke. I just replaced it eventually. But still. Yeah, this monstrosity of a thing. And look, it's done rendering. Air coolers are awesome nowadays. The one you have now, the one you had now, get within a few degrees of an all-in-one loop for a third of the price. Never done a water and electric mix. The only thing I've ever used water cooling for is an AIO for the CPU. That's the only thing I've used it for. Mark Thor! Okay, let's do the normals. Turn you off. Why? Why is that black? I'm gonna hope it's fine. I'm just gonna hope it's fine, and we're gonna continue on. This one's already done. I wish the EV renderer was this fast. Don't worry, yeah, it is a bit of hopium, but it's fine. Let me have my hopium. Hey Zebra, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. How's the Rhythm Killer shadow shading? Well, we did a few experiments. We learned that a baked-in shadow does not look good. So this is the actual shadow, right? But this is the baked one, and it just doesn't look good. And it doesn't fix the problem at all. It doesn't help the problem at all. So I was also thinking about having like a separate shadow, but that's a whole thing. So yeah. But we are gonna, oh, I need to copy you, select all of you, rename. I love Power Rename. Power toys are so good. Like, this would be such a pain without it. Oh, what was that? Are there like updates? I have not updated this in so long. It's like, why? Why update? What's the point? Remember when EGA was an upgrade? Yes, you're old. You mean VGA, I assume? I assume you mean VGA. Why was it before VGA? I don't know what was before VGA. I don't know. VGA is the earliest I have knowledge of. By the way, apparently the beta generation has started to be born. Right? As in, right, there's millennials, then Gen Z, then the alpha generation, and now there's the beta generation. I believe it's called the beta generation. So that's a thing. And there, if you want to feel old, I'm sorry. I've now made you feel old. A new generation is on its way. We're just going beta after alpha? I thought it was beta. Was it beta normally after alpha? Isn't it alpha, beta, gamma? For some reason, that's always been what I've known. Is it not that? Oh yeah, sorry, Charlie. Yeah. What is the current? Yeah, Generation Beta is the proposed name of the following. I'm pretty sure that's what it got called. Because it starts in 2025. Generation Beta is from this year. Oh. So... I don't know what they're going to go after that. Probably going to continue down that list. Is it a weird naming convention? I didn't choose it. Right? Because Gen X is the baby boomer generation, right? Is that the same one? Or is that one before? Like, there's different names. You'd hate to be called the beta generation? I mean, you're not, so don't worry. But if you have kids right now, they'll be betas. So just so you know, if you don't want your kids to be a beta, and you want them to be an alpha, it's too late. You could hold off to eventually maybe get to Sigma. I think that's your next best bet. Otherwise, yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. You had MDA, then CGA, then EGA, then VGA. Somewhere in there you had Hercules card, which I've heard about. I think I've only heard about it because I think it was on an LTT video. I could be making that up entirely, but that just sounds familiar, and that's like the place where I would expect to have heard it from. It's the only thing I'm basing that on. Gen Alpha is gonna bully the hell out of Gen Beta for the... Oh yeah. I mean, don't pick on kids, right? Gen Alpha is now considerably older. I mean, it depends. If you're the end of Gen Alpha, then technically you were born 24. So yeah, they could totally bully. VGA came out in the 80s, man. You're feeling really old now. I was also born in the 80s. Technically. I was technically born in the 80s. I used to say that as a technicality. Because I didn't grow up in the 80s. But I was born in the 80s. '90 baby just missed the cutoff. I mean, it's okay. You're still a pre-Y2K baby. You're pre-80s is all you're saying? All good? We don't age shame here. At least not yet. You know, you never know what's gonna happen in the future. I can't promise anything. At the current moment, no age shaming. Once I get another year older, I mean, that's it. I'm dead. But we don't age shame. We code shame. Hell yeah. But not actually. In a sarcastic, joking kind of way. You've seen a lot of tech come and go. I mean, you described a lot of tech. I have not heard of MDA, CGA, EGA. I haven't heard of all that stuff. So, I believe you. Good thing you don't code? Yeah, neither do I. All right. Because we're streaming, so we follow the script. Oh yeah, this worked. Right, because this should now have, yep, a normal map. Yep. And then if you don't like pink, avert your eyes. For those that like pink, keep looking. Bam, pink. Okay. So ignore him idling right now. But when he moves, I really need to do the idle one now. We need to do the idle one. Fix that up. And then we'll be able to judge this a little bit better. Google should give you good understanding. The tech was amazing for its time. Now look where we are. You like to imagine that we'll be in another 20 years or so? I mean, you know, to be fair, you know, what, like 50 years ago, people thought we would have flying cars by now. So we'll be farther ahead, but it won't be in the places you think we'll be farther ahead in, probably. You got a match on a dating app? That felt good. We chatted, then geez, did it go sideways fast? What the hell happened? Did you find out it was a guy or something? Like, ah, crap. It was a middle-aged man pretending to be a girl. Again, catfishing. That we peak with Heelys? Oh my god. I always thought they looked cool. I never had any. They said so they made you question their age? Like, did they seem too young or too old? Hold on. They were there like, back in my day, we used to walk 500 miles uphill in both directions. Or was it something like, I don't know what the young kids say these days. I got my 20th Labubu. Is that it? Watch for the Adam's apples, that giveaway. You know what's funny, Thomas? When I was a kid, I don't think I was even that young. I think this was like in high school, maybe. I don't remember. I got home one day or something, and I think my mom was watching some drag movie. I think it was my first time seeing like drag at all of any kind. And I remember watching just the very end of the movie, and then like one of the people in drag was like, "I'm actually a guy," and the person's like, "Oh, I know. I saw the Adam's apple, so I immediately knew." And I was like, at that moment, I was like, "Oh, is that only a guy thing?" Like, it's not something I think about. I don't constantly be like, Adam's apple, not Adam's apple, right? I'll look at a neck part. And I was like, oh, that's a thing. So you're just saying now, watch for the Adam's apples remind me of that. Picture seemed a particular age that made a joke that said they were underage. Anyway, like if you're like WTF, oh yeah, you know we don't want to mess with underage. Definitely don't want to mess with that. Two wrong food. Thanks for everything. Is that the name of the show? Two wrong food? Or is that a person? I don't know what the reference is, Thomas. I'm sorry. Oh, it's the movie? Oh, okay. On the Prophet that look 25, they're picked, they look 25, but why make that sort of joke? Especially on a dating app where people are strangers? Because some people have that kind of sense of humor. That's it. And maybe they're trying to find other people that are, that have that kind of sense of humor. As long as it's just jokes, I can be like, oh yeah, if I joke like I'm 5 years old, right? That's still a joke, right? As long as nothing happens between them and actual people under the age, doesn't matter. You can joke all you want. At least as far as I'm concerned. Right? No one gets hurt then. So I don't think I'm like, oh, I don't have like, oh no, must be terrible now. Is this out of whack in the dating scene, or did I just get unlucky? I couldn't say. I haven't been in a dating scene for a long time. To be fair, I haven't even tried. So it's not like I'm like, oh man, I'm just failing out there now. I'm not even trying. Oh man, he looks so like demonic. It's because it's not unlit. So up on the last one. So, all right. Doesn't seem right. Guys? Is that right? Something about those legs doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, that's totally not right. There we go. That's better. Patrick Swayze, Wesley Snipes, John. Wait, did you know? Do you know the movie I was talking about, Thomas? It sounds like you know the movie just from that little clip. Yeah? Wow. That's impressive. That's very impressive. I couldn't tell you anyone who was in the movie. Again, I only came in like near the very end. Probably the last, 15, 20 minutes or something like that. So the comment before was good when we talk about a lot of relatable things, and then it's just derail from there.
Ads are here.
Happens.
Pausing for ads.
Yes, it's a gift. It's definitely a skill, that's for sure. I cannot do that. It's been on Jackpot, by the way, for a while now. It's still Jackpot. Saying 777, we're in Jackpot. Might be Jackpot Day. Whatever that means. You want to apply to the most recent project you're doing and chronicle how long it really takes to do this to see how viable it is social media post-wise. What do you mean by social media post-wise? I had to reread it because I was confused. Normally, if you've seen the movie, you can see 30 seconds or less and tell you the movie. If they ever had a game show like that, you would clean house. That's impressive. Power to you on that one. For sure. Let's try starting at 30. $20? $20 better? Like, why is it so far apart? I just wanted to loop this a little more. I just want to loop it. I mean, that's, I guess, close enough. You're posting on TikTok/Instagram, so you're wondering how long would it take for you to, on average, to generate company branding materials from the template you're making on a daily basis. I mean, you're... I mean, posting on TikTok, Instagram is good, but it's not easy to grow from that. Like if you don't have like this, like as a brand, from what I've seen, but I could be wrong. What program am I using? This is Blender. Oh, version? This is 4.2. Well, that's because I don't know why Blender doesn't have just like a file update. I just want an update. I don't want to download a new version every time. Just tell me there's an update and let me download it. It's free. That should be a thing. Like, I get it for, you know, I get it for paid programs. You don't want to like update them maybe, but if this one's free, like I just want to update. If it's already 4.5, but to update, I have to download a new version, and then it'll install like as a new file. The whole thing. It is what it is. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be. Just this little breathing here. Yeah, 4.4, but you've heard the beta is out soon for 5.0. What does 5.0 like? Does 5.0 have? Well, if it's beta only for 5.0, then it's cool. But I don't do enough right now with it to be like, oh my god, I can't wait for it. So, but if they give like better tools for me to do what I'm doing, that'd be awesome. Kill you. Kill you and you. There it goes. Then they're up to 4 or 5. Yeah, it's 4 or 5 right now. If Blender introduces a feature to compete with Substance Painter, that'd be wicked. I mean, they have a plugin that has some functionality of Substance Painter already. if you're using it for like painting, then yeah. But it'll never replace Substance Painter. No program that is versatile will ever compete with a program that's specialized. Just straight up. That's just not a thing. The more specialized the program is, typically the better it is. And it will not be outperformed by a general program. It's the same thing with skill of an artist. A generalist will never outperform a person with a specialized skill at that thing, right? I cannot make better materials than someone that has specialized in making materials like with Substance Designer. I'll never be there. I will never be as good of a hand-painted texture artist as someone that's done a lot of hand-painted textures, and that's what they do, right? That's normal. Blender will never be a replacement for Substance Painter. It has some nice features that you can work around. There's some plugins for it. You give some of the functionality, but it'll never replace it. Quixel was competing with Substance Painter until Fab? What do you mean? Substance Painter is for painting. Quixel is assets. Different things. You're thinking of congregating a big timed event manager with a bunch of simultaneous time checkers. You're not sure if to put an actor component or in the world actor. What? I don't know what you're saying. You used a lot of big words. I'm confused. Send help. Quixel was a texture pro? Oh, that Quixel. I used that Quixel. I remember that Quixel. Yeah, it was built into not built in. It was a plugin for Photoshop. Yeah. It was cool. I used it. But both of those were specialized into the same thing, which is texturing artists, texturing assets. Just one of them was better for it than the other. So one of them won out. Yeah, Quixel Mixer. Yeah, I remember that. It's like an actor that manages a bunch of tick events, but you don't want to have separate tick events. That doesn't matter. I don't understand the problem. If you have two things ticking, and they're both doing like 5 + 5, let's say, versus having one that does 5 + 5 twice, I don't think there's any performance loss there. In terms of the tick aspect of it. I could be wrong, but I don't see why it would be different. Hello, person. Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. What is the name of this game you're working on? The temporary name is Spreading Crimson. The work in progress name. Same time being deducted, just different amounts of total time until X event. I mean, if you want to have the same logic, just make a blueprint function library and then you can use the same logic everywhere. Oh, if it's time-based, then it'll be... Well, the calculations to get the time can be in blueprint function library. You can't do the time aspect itself in there. Having an array of floats that just deducts the value from each of the array items. Do it. Got to be careful using too many ticks. It depends what you're doing. Right? No, I don't follow the whole never use X terminology or advice. There's never been anything out there that's been like, never use X. I hate that. Personally, I really hate that. I'm not saying you're doing this. Personally, I really hate the mentality of like, never use X in anything. Because, what do you mean never? Or like, just like avoid it by any means possible. The same thing, basically, right? I don't follow that because if you were not supposed to use it and it's so bad, then one, why would anyone put it into the program? Two, how can you speak for every single condition and every single situation out there that is possible? No, there are times where you can use that. No, fine, no problem. It just happens to be with the things you were doing, they weren't good. But for someone else, they might be completely fine. So I don't follow the, you have to like absolutely, like there are things you have to not do. No. In the end, if you're making a game, is it fun? Is it performant? That's all. The whole game could be running on tick. Doesn't matter. As long as those two things are accurate, as long as you have a fun game and it performs, doesn't matter how you did it. This is the part where someone says they should have done calculus. Yeah, do calculus. I can't believe you're not using calculus. If start with tick enable is on, all of your blueprints is bad for, no. From Epic themselves, basically here's how it is. If I open a blueprint, so this, you see how it's grayed out here? Tick is enabled, this is fine, right? Grayed out event tick is fine. No event tick is fine. This is bad. This right here, when it is like actually there, visible, then it's doing something. Then it's actually doing something. But if it's grayed out like this, or it's not there at all, it's not doing anything. From my understanding of what Epic has said on different occasions. So, yeah. Hey, Sidri, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Undertale is a fantastic example. Exactly. Hey, Guts, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Moderation is the key. Takes performance when they're used. Yeah, it also depends how you're using, right? Because if, let's say, on tick could be good in scenarios where you want something to appear to be moving smoothly, right? Then you want to have like a nice smooth transition. Maybe you want tick to get it as smooth as you can, like for a visual effect, right? Maybe you want it to be specifically that smooth versus using a timer. Maybe you have a hard cap. Maybe your frame rate is capped, in which case it's fine, right? There are scenarios where it could be just fine to use ticks. Is it done? I think it's finally done. Okay. Now the fast part. Fast part is the normal. Think of a system where every timed event is linked to an array float item and a single tick event just runs on the array and deducts. Yeah, you can do that. You know if that's performant, just do it. Don't think about it too much. Just do it. And be okay with changing it later if you learn of a different way of doing it. If you're scared of if you're just doing things so early on, you're just never gonna get things done, basically. That's okay. Right? Do it. It might not be the best way later on. You might learn of a better way. Swap it out if you want. Right? It's not like once you do it, someone puts a gun against your head and be like, no, see, you did it this way. You have to keep it this way. That's it. You're tough crap. Just how it is. See that, Brucksha? He values sleep over being matched to Stisk. I mean, to be fair, I also value sleep above almost everything else, Leo. Yeah, Leo too, Leo dummy. Yeah, like I also value sleep above mostly everything else. Edits can always be made. Yeah. Speaking of the one person who goes crazy with them, oh yeah, absolutely, right? But the problem there, right, at that point, Thomas, my argument is that's not a problem with using tick. That's just a problem with the person being too beginner to understand how tick works and where to put things in general, right? It's not the fact that tick was used was the problem. It's just they had other problems and tick was just also one of the components of it, right? Like I've seen a tutorial on YouTube in the past where someone was doing on tick create dynamic material instance. Not only have I seen that on YouTube, I think I've seen that on a project that I took over at one point. So that someone did that I don't remember where it was, but at some point I remember seeing that. Where basically on tick someone's creating a dynamic material instance and then modifying it. Like that's obviously bad. But the problem wasn't the fact that they used tick in general, right? The problem was the fact they put that specific thing on tick. That doesn't need to be on tick. Move it somewhere else. But yeah, guess that's all I mean. That's why I'm like, it's not a yes, must always, or no, never kind of thing. At least for me. Idle. Let's do this. Would you like some game with your dynamic material? Yeah, I remember finding that in one project a while back. I mean, that's probably been a year more. Like I don't even remember if it was at the current job I'm at or a different one. It was a different one. I don't remember. Either way. Yeah. There's a project that I took a look at. I'm like, that shouldn't be that way. There's no reason to create multiple dynamic materials. The one thing I still don't have a good answer to is if you create a on construction script, you create a dynamic material instance, specifically on construction script, and in editor you constantly update the thing. Does it delete the old memory dynamic material instance to create a new one, or does it keep stacking them? I have no way of knowing that, so I always do a check if it's valid and only create it if it's not valid. Because I don't know the answer to that, I just do a valid check. Because if it's valid, that means it's already created. If it's not valid, then just make a new one because it's a new one. So I play it safe. Probably stacking, that's my guess, right? But I have no way of knowing 100%. So And by the way, if you're starting out and you're doing that, totally fine. Make mistakes. You're starting out. I made plenty. That's how you learn. You make a mistake, and then later on, like, oh, okay, there's a better way of doing this. You learn. I mean, I'm probably weird in that regard. One benefit I get from streaming is people be like, hey, what if you just didn't do that and you did this? And I love that. If I'm ever wrong, I love it when someone corrects me. Absolutely love it. Because that means I can just now learn of a better way of doing something I was just doing. I mean, like, actual corrections. I don't mean like well, actually, you know, not that, but like I feel like lots of advice online is discouraging beginner, intermediate developers because they aren't doing things correctly. Exactly. I don't like that. You know, that's why I think when you're starting out, make mistakes, do whatever. Don't listen to anyone telling you how to do it. Do it however you want. You'll learn. You'll get better. You'll progress. Do you press X to down? Wait, what? There's so many times where you can only ask why. Even others working on the same project only shook their head when they saw what was done. But they've learned from there, right? Yeah. You know, I think it would be similar to, you see a guy on a treadmill running backwards. So he's facing the wrong way and he's running backwards on the treadmill. You could point and laugh, or you'd be like, hey, this is how you do it, and he can learn and improve. Right? I think that's a similar thing. Is that a job description recently that almost matched one-to-one what you learned in Unreal within the last year? The only issue was they want at least one AAA title. Doesn't matter, apply. That layout, apply. If you haven't yet, apply. I've talked about this in the past. If a job application matches like the majority of things on that list for what you know and how to do, you apply. In this day and age, it's no longer I'll apply to 5 places and get in. No. Now you apply to every single place and you hope you get a reply from somewhere. So that means you have to keep that in mind and you have to be like, well, shit, I don't meet that one criteria. I haven't released a AAA game, but still apply. They'll tell you this. If your work is good enough, they're not going to care. Straight up. Is it for a position higher than, is it like for a senior position and you are like a mid-level person? Doesn't matter. Apply for the senior position. If your criteria, if you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do this, right on their list of things that they're looking for, apply for the senior position even though you're mid. It's not up to you to judge whether you're ready to be a senior. It's up to them to judge that. Apply. Maybe in their eyes, you know what, compared to the people they've been working with, you are a senior and you just didn't realize that. You're your own worst critic. That's why you're here, learn from procedural minds mistakes. Hell yeah, there's a lot of those. I got a lot of mistakes. Please learn from them. And not only that, I'll continue making mistakes because I don't learn from my mistakes. So learn from my mistakes, but by understanding that I don't, and so you want to. Yes, I think, yes, that. You see that now, but there's actual people that walk backwards on a treadmill? Yeah. And maybe you'll find out that the person was doing that intentionally. Right? You saw a 2D Illustrator for games, but they want characters and you don't do characters. It's non-senior, just regular. If it's something like that extreme, like you're an environment person and they ask you for characters, right, that's a different story. But if there's like 10 things and you don't fit only one of them, apply. You could be a tech god for all they know, Leo. True. You learned in the past year the importance of connecting the nodes while doing blueprints. True. The amount of times I create a node or a function or something and don't connect it is way too high. Way too high. Try to exercise the back of the thigh muscle. Nothing wrong with that. Broken noodles suck. Depends how they're broken. I think it depends how they're broken. Pink. We need to establish a drinking game on discount. No. You're not.
Ads are here.
Yeah, exactly.
Pausing for ad.
Marcia is right. Yes, asking for alcohol poisoning with me. Dear God. I'm gonna get some more drink because it's too hot. Be right back. Hi, Mac. You'll make it bingo. Oh God. Is this gonna be like a month-long bingo? See, I guess I need to not look at the bingo. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if I look at the bingo. I'm not gonna try to intentionally do stuff on it. Not connecting nodes, getting mad at Fab, complaining about the sun or heat, screaming why while having issues. Yeah, those are all, yep. That sounds about right. Have a good night, Thomas. Thanks for stopping by. Get some good night's sleep. That makes some pretty good short content. What, bingo? Saying bingo would make for good short content? Yeah, that's a better spot for the pivot. Yeah, definitely a better spot for the pivot. Posting them as shorts? I've been posting... I've been trying to post a short pretty much every day on days that I don't release a video. Some of them, you know, are good. Some of them are not. That's for sure. I know some of them are not. Let's look at this. So here's the here he is in all his glory. I need to increase I need to increase this. For now. So, what do we think? He definitely looks like he's floating, right? The problem is his feet. His feet where the shadow is. Like, from this angle, it's okay. But, like, right here, right? Like, that right there, I mean, you could tell, like, right? Oh, yeah, I know. But that's because we made him big. We're not looking at the HP, we're looking at the animation, the sprite. Can you lower the sprite just a touch? No. I can't. Pretty much. Right, because if I start lowering too much, I mean, I can lower it a little bit. I can lower it a little bit. That needs to be there. Now, it's possible that I'll need to raise him based on other animations. It definitely helps, but again, right, you still see that the shadows don't line up. Yeah, it's better, but it's not gonna be perfect. That's why I was thinking of doing the shadow as the sprites. Halfway complete with bingo needs like 12-ish more. And then you need to randomize it, right? Then you need to, if there's a bingo, I'm sure you're probably using like a bingo generation website. Make sure you use one of those so that way you can send out a link to have it randomized and stuff. If you're going through all that trouble. Yeah, okay, good. I say good like I care. I guess I do a little. Here's what I'm thinking, okay? I could try, because we got time still today. I could try doing the shadow thing one more time. And putting it on the sprite. Oh no, again, we were no. We can't do transparent, right? We can't have it be translucent, I mean. Or transparent, whatever. Right. That's not an option. So no, that the whole shadow thing's not gonna work. Is there any way around it? I don't think there's any way around it. Here's the question, I guess. One, does it bother you? Because I guess if it doesn't bother you, then, you know, whatever for now. But it's definitely bothering me because I'm very well aware of it. You create a separate sprite of the shadow, so having two different sprites. I looked into that earlier. It would require basically having two characters on top of each other, because all animations would have to be synced for every single animation. So it's not gonna, it's a headache to be, you know. Ask ChatGPT. Already went past, we're past that already. So I better than the Blender shadow. Roll with this for now. Yeah, we can't use the Blender shadow anyway, as we figure it out. Like, I think if get to a spot where I can take a screenshot. Yeah, it's a hold shift, so yeah, in position. I can take the screenshot, please. I wouldn't care if just this part connected, right? I wouldn't care if this is offset. Right? If the whole shadow just was moved over, basically, to make it look correct. It doesn't have to be correct. But there's no way of, like, faking that. I mean, looking at the tags, that's so much the shadow, so it's gonna be good enough. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You can't do a material to disable shadow and put a proxy in, because the proxy has to make sense and line up. If the proxy lines up, then use the proxy instead of what you have. All right, that's the problem. Yeah, and then we have to have both of them line up. Yeah, that becomes the whole headache of, like, having a separate shadow. Same problem, right? Yeah, you can't. Yeah. The thing is, the offset needs to be. It's dependent on the angle, also, right? I mean, no, the offset is actually world space. I mean, for shits and giggles, let's find out. In Unreal Engine 5, is there any way to have the shadow appear offset from where the object actually is? Example, 100 units in the positive X direction. Why don't we just ask, hey, you know, I'm saying no, but you know what? Maybe there is a way. This is using world. No. I don't want to use world position offset. Custom shadow pass with material functions. Custom shadow pass. Custom shadow pass is interesting. I've only ever used shadow pass switch. This puts it back to where it has been. Oh, this just gives me the whole thing. So what I really should be putting in is here. Right? Yes. So theoretically, let's do a little test here. This outline thing we don't really need anymore, so I really should rework this. Shadow off. Add. Append. By the way, why did append many become the default instead of append vector? Is there a star there? There's not a star there, is there? I almost always still want the default append. Shadow offset X. What? Why? You're down to the last 5 or 4? Nice. Hold on, abort. I know this is a messy version, but I just want to see if this. I want to see if this works. So here. Um. Well, okay. Well, that doesn't help me. So I can offset it, but it's clipping, right? So, because its bounds are still. Its bounds are basically to the size of the sprite, not past it. No, it's not using world position offset. It's still using the bounds of the object. It's just offsetting. Yeah. We ran into this with the outline thickness as well. So, oh, it's custom parameter data. What I can try doing actually is, hold on. I think there's a way of changing that on the sprite. Source UV. No, no, no. No, I don't need to move the collisions. Geometry type. Source bounding box. Still not, huh? Still cuts it off, huh? Why be like this? So that's not helping. Hmm. Why is it not helping? If I do a I'll go back to source real quick. It's small here. Yeah, it's a small here. Oh, hold on. This is not. I'm not looking at the correct one because we haven't updated this one, have we? Yeah. That's the correct one. Okay. So at least now we can look at the correct one. Okay. This back. So one more time. Let me also let me just do 0.1, 0.05. Hey, look at that. Hold your horses. I need him to get into a better position. Can you come to the front, please? Actually, I mean, that was okay. But I'd rather you have... Okay, here we go. So... Then if we come here, go to run. Bulk edit these. To source bounding box. Okay. Then... Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Guys. Oh. Little shadow problem there. Hold on, pause. Is it this? Yes. That's the problem. I mean, that's pretty good. Hold on. The full screen. It's offset there. See, I want to move it back to the left. Or back over. Like, it's not perfect. It definitely ain't perfect. But it's sure a whole lot better. Okay, I want to also... Yeah, that's what I was going to look at, Leo. That's exactly what I was about to look at. Because I don't think... Do these have a clamp or wrap? They don't. These are paper duty sprite ones. So, unless here... No. I hope I went past it. Oh, no. No, this is not the same kind. This isn't... That's not the texture clamping, right? I think I need to do it on the texture level. If I recall, that's not the right one. That has to be done on the texture level, which we might be able to do still. Or not? Or does that just work? Well. Hold on. One thing I want to check. No, I wasn't using the right value here. I wasn't using the one that was giving problems. Go, look this way, please. Come on. No, stop going. Go the bottom right, please. Oh, no. Seems okay, actually. And again, like, if you look at the feet, like, yes, they're... If you really look at them, they don't quite line up. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Saw it. See? Saw it. It was there. I was right.
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
It's irrelevant on this. It has to be done on the texture level. It's still there. Even though I clamped it here, it's still there. Because I'm doing it, I guess, on the... Why is it still there? Oh, because I'm doing it on the wrong one. Hold on. Yes, I need to modify the idle one, because that's happening on the idle one. Also, it's ads time. Let's pause. But this is great progress. This is amazing progress, though. You might actually be able to do this. I'd probably need to expose those values, the offset, to yeah, Grok for the win. Keep telling people Grok is pretty good for Unreal. Yeah, I didn't think about using the shadow switch. But I wanted some of those standing corner lights that light up the wall in RGB, but they got here and they were half the size you thought they were, but turns out they are the exact same size as your 75 HTV, so you put them behind it and it's pretty neat. Well, I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out. Okay. I need him to kind of go to the side view here, to the right. No, it's still there. God damn it. That didn't help. Did you see the 20v1 billionaire Jubilee video? I don't even know what Jubilee is. I've heard of the word before, but past that, no. So clamping isn't gonna work. Probably because we're using a specific area, and so the texture continues, so clamping doesn't help. Which makes sense. But like hum. It's only a problem in the freaking right side too. It's only a problem in the idle. You know, I know how to get around this problem. I know how to get around this problem. I need all of this in this version. The way we can get around this problem. Remember, there's a way to blur the shit. No. I mean, that's a separate thing. But unfortunately, there's no blur in Unreal. We can get around that by making it so there's more room here, I'm pretty sure. Because again, right, the problem is in this view. And we're cutting off too much here. Right, this crop is too much. So if I just render it bigger, just slightly less cropped, I think that will solve our problem. So there's just more room for the shadow to move. Hey, William, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. What's the issue? Is it showing the wrong tile based on where it is relative to the player character? Is it a 3D model? No. It's not a 3D model. Well, it's not in Unreal, a 3D model. It's a 2D model in Unreal. But what we're doing is we're offsetting the shadow of it. So here, we're moving the shadow. But when you move the shadow too much, you see the next, I believe that is the next tile over. And I'll show you why we're doing this. If we come here and just have this guy just get into position, and move to a different location. In front of me, please. In front of me, please. Stop moving. Oh my God. Right, so if I turn these off, this is the normal, right there. So that's the normal position of the shadow. And you see how the feet just don't line up? But if we offset the shadow, it makes it so the feet are better lined up for him. But we start seeing the next thing, the next object's shadow. So I think what we can do is render bigger outside and fix the problem that way, I think. So let's quickly try that. I don't even need to. Well, I should do both the normal and should do both. This is the idle. Clear the folders. Okay. Go. Okay. Seems complicated. It's a little bit. The funny thing is, if I fix this right now, it'll be a little bit ironic because tomorrow's YouTube short is about this being a problem. From yesterday's stream. But again, like, super promising. Why does Paws not have a hotkey? I mean, we might move like 0.4 instead, but either way, we want to be able to control this per. Right now it's too far over. I mean, maybe it's fine. Maybe I just need to play around with the values. You'll never be perfect. You're kind of mad at Nintendo. The Switch 2 cannot download the YouTube app, says you can't purchase this, but the Switch 1 can. I mean, there's many reasons to be mad at Nintendo. I didn't expect that to be one of them. Yeah, why can't you download the YouTube app? What? It's a pretty damn good fix. Yeah, I think we don't need to have the bigger render, actually. I think what we have now might be fine. With these values. It's made really small. That's kind of impressive how that works. Kind of interesting. It does mean that it used the full size of the sprite, but I don't think it matters, right? Clearly, visually. Give the sprites a bit of a glow look at certain angles, which looks really neat. Even give the sprites a bit of a global look at certain angles, which looks pretty neat. What glow? What you talking about? It's still going. I can't stop it. And, maybe someone knows. Is there a way to stop a script from running like this in Blender? Because there's no way that I found. You gotta wait for it to finish. Shadow outlines this sprite in play. Kinda. One thing I actually want to look into. Someone's talking about like a billboard effect for the sprite, which automatically faces it towards the camera. I don't remember seeing that. But I figured I just want to quickly check if that's a thing. You want to be under physics or collision. So the custom primitive data, we'll need to add another one. Grog, let us know. That's fine. It's fine on this one. No, I mean, it's more or less. This is only like a thing if I wanted to do, if I cared enough like about perspective, like moving over. I don't care that much about it. But I just wanted to see it because I just remembered about it. Okay. So, right, the big problem with this guy, right, is the fact that we would need to do a custom parent for this. Because obviously this collision does not really fit this new setup. We need to use a box collision. So we would need to create our own custom parent that replaces the entire capsule component with a box collision that we can modify and put wherever we'd like. How we do that, I do not know. I'm just going to hope that the character movement component. Oh, but then if we put a box collisions, that wouldn't work on. Because I think it uses the original component, but then we can't modify. Shit. No, I don't even know if that's possible. What I want to do. No, you can't change. You can't change that, unfortunately. I was going to use a custom, like make a custom thing with a box collision, but I think I'm realizing right now that I believe because it has to work with character movement, and my guess is the character movement uses the root component, root collision, and the root collision can never be angled. Like angled and moved. What's causing the shadow offset in the first place? Just the fact that it's in the air. That's a realistic shadow because it just happens to be in the air. It's not offset. It's relative to the light. It's correct. It's just relative to the camera. It's not correct. So really, what we need to do is increase the radius. Lower the sprite. Here's the thing. I want to increase the radius, but you cannot increase the radius any more than the height. Which is unfortunate. So So if I did this, I can only ever make it a circle here. Right? So if I want like a wider, I also need to make it taller. It's kind of a weird or unfortunate limitation, let's say. What if it just no? See, I want to make it work for any lighting condition. I don't want to have to resort to a specific light direction. Also, this would work with any light. Right? This shadow now works with any light. This offset, it doesn't matter what light I use, the offset works. Right? So that's the other benefit of this. Let its legs stick out from a little more. What? Let its legs stick out the front a little more? I mean, what do you mean? That's just how it is. That's the angle. He has a big drum in front of him. His legs are head and behind. Okay, this is finally done. So what I'm gonna do is go to my recycle bin and undo the deletion of all that stuff. And then we need to come here, kill all of these. There we go. Now we're back to 184. 184, good. And this one can go back to where it was, which was 0.6. Okay. Yes, the capsule is the hitbox. Yep. So it's not an ideal scenario. What really I need control over is specifying the character movement, what collision it uses. Let's find out. Can you specify which collision component the movement component uses? The movement component? Character movement. Find out. Yes, you can specify how. You can change the updated component to another primitive component. In Blueprint C++, select the character movement component. Set the updated component property. Updated component property. What? Update? Where? There's no such thing as updated component property, so good job with that. There's in blueprints. Add a new component, configure the component's collisions, set the character movement component, Find the updated component property under character movement category. No, that's not a thing. Hallucination, yay! Yeah, but now hopefully it'll be better. Is a core part of the component system, but isn't exposed as an editable variable in blueprint detail panel. C++ only. Change the root component in blueprints. The character movement component uses the root component, so I was right. It uses the root component. That's unfortunate. The upper part of the sprite is already sticking out way of the top. If that's okay, I don't see why it wouldn't be okay to pull the sprite forward on the x-axis, then a little lower so that feet touch. There are no feet. William, I don't think you understand. There are no feet. The feet are hidden. The feet in our technically would be right there. Right? I can lower him down. Sure. I can definitely do this though. It all depends on the rest of his animations, because some animations might be much taller, basically, right? So sometimes I'll need to raise him up, for sure. The character rotates, the position of the feet changes because of the sprite also. Oh yeah. The shadow is also a bit off because we lowered it. So we need to offset the shadow a bit differently. Once he gets back into like the position. Right, we need to do something like this instead. Either way, this is better than what I could have hoped for. I will say. Offsetting the shadow, hey, props to Grok on that one. I take no credit for thinking of that one. That does so much. Okay, so here's what we need to do though. Because this is all cool, but this is currently this needs to be controlled. Also, I'm going to remove this whole outline thickness thing. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not using it anymore. Yeah. Also, this we're not using opacity. Here for the base color, yeah, we're fine. I think. So what we need to do is let's go back to the parent. And let's take a look at the custom parameter data. Outline thickness, so really we need 7. Is what we need. Seven and 8. And then here, I'll move my so you guys can see. We need to add you and you. Why is that the default?
Ads are here. Pausing for ads.
Now you're wondering if that might be the way forward? Oh, for the angle? Yeah, that was the whole reason why I'm checking this. I am thinking if this went well and it's gone well, I want to replace all of the characters for the angled version that makes sense with the camera. Because I think they will look much better. Especially like the spider and everything. Like I think it will look much better. Because you actually see like the different legs of the spider. Instead of just seeing it like dead on. Yeah, totally. Outside. Why do I need to add it here as well? Why do I need to re-add this? Oh, here we go. I can do that. Yeah, you can't post it links in stream, but you can post it on Discord. And then I can post it. All good. Yeah. Links don't work. Here's the bingo. Let's take a look. Let's see what you did. I'm curious. There's a shuffle in the top right. There's a shuffle button, so make sure to shuffle it. Why isn't that working? True. Disconnected note. Yep. New idea, but it breaks the game. Yep, yep. Is it a bug or a feature, huh? Fab, uh-huh. C++ Andy in chat. That's gonna be a hard one. I don't think that's very often. A player bug? Player bug? What's a player bug? Like a bug that affects the player? Character? Cursed material. Oh, yeah, player, and then there's a separate boss bugs versus a player bug. Okay. Cursed material. I mean, yeah, I guess, do I show cursed stuff? The game broke. I can just check that already. UI bug, Unreal crash, enemy AI bug, which is separate from a boss bug. Okay. Perfectly timed moment. A card bug, shipping error. Why? I feel like, right, all of these are pretty much the same. Because if it affects one of these, it'll pretty much affect all of them. The Y, yes. Spawning bug. That almost will never happen. Because I think we're pretty much done with spawning. See, yep. Ask Grox, actually, uh-huh. A language bug. We pretty much don't use that. I feel like some of them need to be condensed and there need to be other ones added, but I understand you. It's hard to MS Paint. I don't use MS Paint, thank you very much. I use Excalidraw. It ain't no MS Paint. It's the high quality stuff. Well, that's a good start. This is awesome though. Temu MS Paint? No. MS Paint is the Temu version of this. I mean, to be fair, it has more features in a sense. Let's not worry about that. Yeah, it works so well. Okay, so I think from here we can do the rest of the animations at this point, right? It's gonna work. It actually looks pretty darn good. By the way, I think I like the size of him also. I think the size of him and the resolution all, I think, kind of work. Do we get broke the game and ask AI today on the card? Well, ask AI is already on the list. I love how he stands like ahead of me. Oh my god! Because of the angle, he sometimes goes through me. I mean, that's not great, but he only goes through me because my character is also not angled. If my character was angled, this would not be a problem, so I guess it's fine. But heck to the yes. So you change the language bug or to something else, but you're not sure what. You also condense boss AI. Yeah, I'll condense some of them. You can add something like explanation time, or I explain something. Well, I guess that's drawing time, or you could put it under drawing time. I'm sure you could think of more. Maybe. I mean, I'm not that interesting, I'll be honest. But I'm sure you can do it. all those in one stream, you're impressed. It will evolve over time. I don't think you'll ever get a bingo in one stream. Is it possible? Let's see. For normal stuff, if I was to think about like what normally happens in a stream potentially, why isn't that working would be yes. Disconnected node, yep. New idea is not very often. Bugger feature, not very often. Fab, not very often. Very rare. Rare. The game's broken. Something broken in the game. Which, again, I would put under the same thing as boss bug. Any kind of bug, I would put as the game broke. Unreal crash. Doesn't happen very often, but could. This happens maybe once a month, and this month I was doing the shipping off stream. Why? Yep. Heat. Yep. Yeah, that can happen. It works. Yeah. So this is what I would say is a likely thing of happening during a stream, potentially altogether. Like even a lucky stream, this is what you would get. Everything else is a maybe like once a month or very rare thing. So I would definitely, this bingo is definitely not a daily bingo. But it doesn't have to be, right? So there's a potential to get bingo then? Oh yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 9. So you have a potential of getting bingo. Yeah. But I'm talking about, this is stuff that you could see during a single stream together. All of this, I can see happening during a single stream. I'm not saying UI bugs don't happen or like player bugs don't happen. I'm just saying like in a course of a stream, because like when's the last time a C++ Andy was in chat? I think it's been a few months, right? So the chance of getting this would be difficult. Doesn't mean it shouldn't be there, but yeah. We should do weekly bingo then. Oh my god! At the end of the week, you could share your bingo cards and see who. Well, I guess just see if anyone got bingo that week. Oh yeah, I totally fine with that, Leo. I totally get it. Yeah, that's the one. I still remember the one C++ guide that you're referencing. I still remember that interaction. It was funny. It was definitely funny. Okay, well, I guess then tomorrow, tomorrow we will start actually rendering out the rest of the animations. I think we're good to go on this whole perspective thing for this guy. We'll see how it all looks in the end with like the entire thing having the proper like perspective effect. With all the attacks and everything. The collisions is kind of... There's no good way around it. But it is what it is. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm very excited. I'm genuinely very excited. The fact that we have the shadow issue potentially fixed, I'm very excited. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Back tomorrow for some more game dev. And hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Get some sleep, get some rest. I'll see you guys then. Take care. Bye-bye.